I want money. I want tips.
Welcome back, episode 101 of Revisited, and with the 100th episode being fan stuff, because y'all wanted what if stuff so badly, we decided to go back to stuff we like to do, and what we like to do is DSP.
No, Phil!
Oh no, what did he do?
5 days ago, Peacemaker should have worked, so what happened?
Yeah, no.
I did not see that. What?
He hated it. You want to switch it over?
No, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, no. He hated Peacemaker.
What's wrong with him? Well, that's gonna take more time than we have, frankly.
So, you feel recently there's been a lot of drama on channels being deleted and such because of either Phil, somebody in Phil's circle, or somebody that just likes to with detractors and stuff.
Yeah, it's one of three options. It's somebody. It's a couple options. I don't know how many. It's Phil himself, which that's always a possibility.
I feel like it's a good possibility.
It's somebody just playing both sides who likes the circus, who wants to just be like, hey, I'm striking Phil and I'm striking, or somebody who's legitimately well-meaning and just going, hey, these people are propping off of Phil, I don't like it, so I'm gonna strike them.
But why now?
Why now? That's a good question. It's too many just because we haven't seen it, so he could just be lying, of course.
Of course.
That's always the possibility of him just lying. And it was just today, the pre-stream. It was just like, show the copyright. He was like, why? Nobody's going to believe me anyway. The people, my fans are already going to believe me that it happens, and the trolls aren't going to believe me anyway. So what's the point?
Don't show anything, no evidence for either way. Screw it.
And and that's his mindset. The mindset of, my fans believe me anyway, so that like emboldens him to say whatever he wants at any time and just be like, yeah, my fans are just gonna believe me because they are, and they do,
and they have,
and they will continue to.
Like with the bank leak stuff, like it's ridiculous. So a bunch of detractor channels have gone down. So a lot of people have kind of moved away from doing Phil content,
taking
clip
a
channels.
Step back.
Yeah. Some people have just stepped away entirely if they can't get their channel back, like Snort Burnell.
It's mostly the clip channels, though, because
initially it wasn't even the clip channels. It was strictly because it was all transformative stuff. Mm-hmm. It was the raw DDM and that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But then it trickled down to the But there's stuff like there's a podcast called That Being Said that talks about Phil every week. Not a single one.
But at the same time, you got something like Call of Duty who would lend their voice to every clip they did, everything they did, and it still just wasn't enough. So who knows? It could be over with by now because you've got things like King DD Duke. I believe is the name. Still doing This Is How You Don't plays. But then you got Outsider. Outsider got taken down.
Yes,
and that's
weird.
So, and that's not even a clip channel. So who knows what's being targeted and why it's being targeted. A lot of restreamers are still up, but some restreamers went down. And that's just the way it is. That's just to tell you that if this video goes down, you'll know why.
It's not going to go down.
You never know. You never know the goofiness.
Nah, I don't believe so.
So today we are talking about the Suicide Squad, better than the first one, but a bit confused. DSPReacts Movie Review.
I hate him.
Wait a second. There's no way he did this. There's no way he did a bit confused hyphen exclamation point hyphen movie review exclamation point.
Oh my goodness.
That is not what I'm saying on this title. I'm just gonna say that this is the way the program I use to download things hyphenated it itself instead of the spaces. That's all I'm gonna say.
It could have been worse. It could have been, because as you can see, the DSP Reacts has an exclamation mark on it. So it could have been DSP Reacts exclamation mark movie review.
Does that say move review?
There's no way. There is not a single way that legitimately says move.
And this is why we love DSP so
Phil.
much. This is why we love him so much.
He don't care. I understand mistakes happen.
Yes, frequently.
But my dude, come on. You made sure to do exclamation marks. And okay, no. A bit confused. You're right. It's not a dash. It is a question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
So it can't recognize the question mark when it downloads it because Windows doesn't recognize that as an actual character it can use.
So
cool.
So he made sure to do that. He made sure to capitalize better. Mm-hmm. He made sure to capitalize bit. But then he just goes move.
I wonder if he was coming up on the end of the character. I
don't think so.
It was just like, what? Who's gonna know?
Then take away a single question mark.
That is a option.
Don't have the exclamation mark at the end of move review. There's a couple things you can do to circumvent this.
Or I can misspell movie.
And only a couple of people realize.
A couple more now. Yeah, so let's get into this.
Description boys.
Oh, well, yeah, we're description boys. I forgot. It's been so long since we've done this.
There is no description, but I just find this description very funny. This channel is, in all caps, very interactive, and in all caps, you can be a part of the content by becoming a member today! Exclamation mark. Thanks! Exclamation mark.
You can become a part of the channel without being a member, because non-members can still recommend videos to watch for DSP Reacts.
Members get priority to get theirs skipped.
Dude, they are legitimately paying money to literally go, yes. I'm gonna watch 40 seconds of this, and I don't like it, skip.
We have to one day.
Do it.
DSP Reacts. VFP versus the internet. I've seen some stuff, and
why would we want to do? He sucks.
Have you seen the car thing?
No, I haven't seen a single thing of DSP Reacts. Why would I?
This man is incapable of recognizing a joke, and it is and it is shocking.
No,
it is the meme of the thing just flying right over his head. He will stare blank faced. And just, we have to one day. I have to at least show you the car thing.
One day.
It is
we'll do it.
Rough.
Maybe we'll start adding that at the end of streams instead of salad saying and what if content. Maybe every now and then we'll do something Phil related to.
We need to just pepper in some Phil stuff.
Yes.
Because it's so fun.
And it's so much.
And it's constantly growing.
Yeah.
I hate this logo.
It's not a good one. I don't know what the speaking near the D is, because, you know, that's speaking in comic strips and stuff. I don't know what that is supposed to be.
The colors are they're garish.
Yeah, they're very clashing. I don't know why the DSP Reacts has that, like, shiny, the pseudo shininess to it. The blue, I
just do not like it, and it doesn't.
And the I'm sorry to cut you off. The slightly turned exclamation point to show how fun it is.
Shut up!
Serious.
Shut up! But Phil just doesn't have like a overall cohesive theme to him, because he'll have a border, and then he'll just put this in the corner, and they're just not matching or anything at all. So there's nothing to DSP except for just whatever his fans make him, and then he'll just throw it up.
Yeah, even in something like the quartering, his horrible content. I love his name, Quarter Pounder. But the quartering, his logo is white and blue, so his channel motif is like a light blue color. you know what it is in that. So if he does a transition, let's just say a bubble transition, Phil, nudge, double elbow, he can make it light blue and it's go, okay, this is what the channel is, the motif of it. Phil, this is, so I feel like whoever made this logo potentially consulted Phil on the colors, and Phil picked these colors because it's colors he sees a lot out in the wild. You've got a kind of red, you've got yellow, you've got purple, but these are the colors that's supposed to invoke hunger through like fast food. You got your Burger Kings, you got your McDonald's, they're yellow, they're red. Taco Bell, you got your purple, your yellow. This is what he sees a bunch, so he's like, I want it.
I don't think he did. I think that somebody sent it to him and he went, ooh, and then he put it up. Because if you look at his dumb, hey, welcome to DSP React stuff, he talks about how he was working so hard for months and planning and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he's in a Jersey filming that. And the day before DSP Reacts was unveiled, he did his Super Bowl event. So he did his Super Bowl event, filmed that, and then just put it right up.
Yeah.
That's how little he plans that.
And you know what I find funny? I know I said let's get this started, and that was like 4 minutes ago. You know what I find funny? How little time Phil says he has on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. But then he's like, well, I was on chat with YouTube for an hour. Where did that hour of time come from?
Yeah.
If your schedule is so ridiculous
Jam-packed.
that you can't take any amount of time to do things. And this dumb... Oh my God, I just heard his, maybe I'll have to move Twitch thing. This pissed me off to no end. He said, YouTube does not allow mass editing, which I do not believe is true, but let's just say for the sake of argument, it is true. YouTube does not allow mass editing. So to edit out that song of every one of my videos would take an hour
per
each.
song per video. It'll take
How long do you think it takes
so that's
to edit out?
280 hours. How do I do?
Oh, camera's gone.
Yeah, it's impossible to
It
do.
would take 6 minutes a video maximum.
That sounds like an hour per video to me.
I could not believe it when I heard
just the
that.
over exaggeration. But again, his fans are gonna believe him. So when he says it's gonna take an hour, they're gonna be like, "Dang, it's gonna take an hour."
Because they've been beaten into submission to believe everything he says. Because you'll hear Phil a bunch of times just go, "These idiots! If you believe this, you're an idiot." And these people don't want to be seen as idiots in the God King Phil's eyes. So, of course, you're an idiot if you don't believe it would take him an hour to do this.
I think it's also a big us versus them mentality.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if they go, "Oh, look at them! They're in hacking Phil and going into his bank accounts," that's messed up. I'm gonna stay over here with Phil. So when Phil's just like they're idiots and stuff, it's like, yeah, they are.
They went into his bank account.
It's us versus them.
Oh, and his paranoia recently when old dude was like, "I'll come see you in Renton." It's just every time Jasper meows, it's just like, "Is somebody here? I'm just gonna go check real quick." Cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. Just get a ring thing and put it in your stuff then.
Easy.
Stop
Oh
being
no, he doesn't have the money or the time to put that up.
Yeah, so much.
And then he's talking about I'm gonna have to sue somebody.
I'm already talking to 2 lawyers.
How you know?
You a liar,
You're
Phil.
a lie.
You a liar, Phil. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you've already dropped $600 on 2 lawyers. How is that possible, Phil, if you're so broke, if you don't have money, if you're eating lunch meat sandwiches? How do you have $600 free to drop for 2 lawyers?
For just consulting. Not even like, hey, I'll represent you or anything. No, hey, what should I do?
Oh, I don't agree with that one, Sam. Let me try this one. Here's your 300. Now here's your 300.
Come on, we're not doing this.
But we are doing this. Let's get started.
I was about to say, did you press play?
Oh yeah. That logo was up there forever. Also, I hate this intro.
Well, I've never seen this intro.
Oh, you've never...
What is this? This is... Okay, pause. This is purely one of those Adobe
stock video.
Just stock video. Just put in whatever you want and then you just keep... It's just like his weekend previews do, you know, like with the gears and everything. It was just put in whatever words you can. Cause it's like trying, what is this? This is nothing that represents Phil.
Yes, no.
Just this painted background and he's trying, it's nothing. But Phil was just like, it's something I ain't gotta do.
It looks good enough.
So just put it up. Again, look at the logo. And look at this DSP Reacts. Colors don't match. Font don't match. It's
YouTube Reacts channel. Should it be a reaction channel?
It might have been a troll that did this and just sort of mess it up just a little bit.
Nah, I feel like we would be able to see like robust in the corner or something.
like that intro that they made with all those pachinko machines and stuff.
He just did not.
Like, cool.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
What is going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be reviewing James Gunn's...
I hate
the pointing?
It is...
What's wrong with the pointing?
Because if you go back, you can see him looking just like, okay, am I centered? And
he keeps looking over to himself to show, I'm pointing to this character, Peacemaker, and now I'm pointing to this character.
It
Rick
does
Flag.
nothing. We don't need to be pointed to the... There's so much empty space on the right side. You got a logo and then you got this and nothing on the other side.
The Suicide Squad. Not to be confused with the 2016 movie also called Suicide Squad.
No, Phil, we got this. We did. No. We've all done this, Phil.
Yes.
You're late to the party.
Yes.
There's no need to go through this.
No.
You're not breaking any ground with this.
But Phil never breaks ground. He always does what has already been said, but now he's saying it as Phil, so I guess it means more to his audience.
I know it's a little confusing, and in fact, there's going to be a lot of direct comparisons and parallels between the movies because it's essentially the same premise, just completely different execution.
It's almost like it's a sequel.
Yes.
So why wouldn't the premise... The Matrix 2 is like The Matrix in its premise.
What?
I would assume so.
What, a road trip? What are we supposed to get from the Suicide Squad, Phil?
In fact, it even has some of the same characters and the same actors playing
Why
the
did his
same
eyes bug out like that?
No clue.
What is he doing? Go back!
That's a little harder
Oh,
these days.
no!
Same actors playing the same character.
I gotta go back a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, XSplit updated, so this is bullshit. I'm gonna be downgrading
In fact,
it soon.
it even has some of the same characters.
There's a black woman. Look out. That's what it's
And the same actors playing the same characters as the original movie from 2016. So let's talk about it. First of all, The Suicide Squad came out in 2021. It was meant to be a rated R outing for DC that was supposed to be very different from the previous movies that the DC universe had put out there. And did it work? Well, it did okay. It certainly was no box office smash, but at the same time, it wasn't a horrible flop. It kind of landed somewhere in the middle, certainly not what they were hoping for when they were trying to reboot the whole Suicide Squad franchise and make people forget about the 2016 essential bomb. Now, the thing is,
he is not taking into advisement that we were still roughly in a pandemic.
Yes.
And so box office was very much down for the entirety of 2021 with the exception of some outliers like Far From Home or No Way Home, my bad. Things like that. And I think this also released on Max either day of or like 2 weeks after the release of the movie. So that's also going to play into it. Just like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat wasn't a smash hit at the box office, but I'm sure they were happy with what they got in return for the HBO Max initial subscriber base. Yeah. Just like WoWo 84.
It is good enough to get a spinoff for Peacemaker as well.
Yeah. And it was good enough for Gunn to take helm of the entire DCEU after the fact. So I'm sure they were very happy with the return.
Yeah, this is coming up, like you said, a pandemic, the negative response of the first movie, still a bunch of unknown characters.
Yeah, I went into it apprehensive because I hated the first one, and it's a fantastic movie, so.
I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again in this review. I don't know what this weird obsession is recently with the Suicide Squad. Yes, there was a comic book of the Suicide Squad that was kind of an interesting premise. It's a bunch of villains that are given a second chance. They're released from captivity in order to do mercenary work for the good guys, the U.S. government. If they do a good job, perhaps they'll get a reduction of their sentence. If they do a bad job, well, they have a microchip implanted in their necks that controls a microscopic bomb that will blow up and kill them.
Yes,
so
that's a good premise.
If they do a bad job, they die.
Yes.
That's the point of the Suicide Squad. The bomb is for if they're misbehaving, not if they do a bad job. If they go off mission.
And that also allows for a wide variety of characters, interactions, missions, things. At any point, anybody can
different
die.
Tonality of even the grouping, because let's say you have a grouping without Quinn, you have Deadshot, Peacemaker, Rick Flag, and I forgot what his name was. Idris Elba's name was in this movie.
I forget as well.
But you have all four of them. Now it's a totally different tonality-wise film.
they better do the right thing. If they don't, or they go off of, their orders.
But he goes, I don't understand what the recent, what did we have? We had this, we have the game that's coming out, we have the other movie. I think they got a animated movie.
Yeah. But I think that was also a quasi-Batman film. But there was a Suicide Squad movie. No, so it was Assault on Arkham. And I think it was helmed by the Suicide Squad.
So that's 4 things.
4 or 5 things in roughly 7 years.
It's not a whole lot.
It's just more than what we had before. So it seems like quite a incline. Like if Blue Beetle all of a sudden had a game and a cartoon come out alongside the movie within the next 2 years, people would be like, what's with the sudden push of Blue Beetle? It's just because we haven't had a lot of Blue Beetle anything.
So now that there's interest, now they're just like, okay, a game, a movie, animated movie.
And these companies are going to push the people they want to push in the hopes that the audience will be receptive of them and they can increase their sales, their profit margins, their merchandising, because people are interested in King Shark now because of things like Suicide Squad, because of things like the Harley Quinn show. People are going to gravitate towards these characters now and become fans of them. That's what they want. They can't just keep rolling out Batman. They can't.
But they can, and they are.
And, well, of course they are. But
they new show coming out.
And he has, I think, 2 or 3 animated cartoons that are getting either new seasons or premieres. But you can't just keep rolling out the same 4 or 5 people because you do run the risk of people getting tired of them.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot more stories to tell because a lot of more stories have not been told. Like Batman, you got all sorts of stories. Him going into space, him going back in time, whatever. It's not a whole lot of stories with a Peacemaker or a Harley Quinn or something like that. It's a lot more stories to tell, so people may be more interested in that, and people may be more interested to write that as well.
And there's more people to tell it with because the Suicide Squad inherently is a essentially rotating door of characters. So if Captain Boomerang dies, if Slipknot dies, if all all these characters die. Well, we've got another 5 characters that we can introduce that we can give the audience some type of meaning towards so they can become a fan of them. Give me Animal Man, please.
Be murdered, but if they do the right thing, hey, maybe it'll benefit them. So it's kind of a unique and interesting premise. But even the comics, to my knowledge, weren't like ginormous smash hits.
Were the Guardians of the Galaxy's comics ginormous smash hits? Okay, here's the thing. These days, there's no such thing as a ginormous splash hit in a comic universe.
What is a ginormous splash hit?
Most monthly comics, you're probably looking at like a good one will sell 80K. A good one. I think Batman was doing, when I was heavy into comics, like in 2019, and I was looking up the sales of them, I think Batman was doing like 200K for his main book. And everything else was just doing like 130K, 80K. Sometimes you'll get an X-Men comic that'll do like 180, 210, something like that. There's no ginormous smash hits in comics, DSP.
So why they decided all of a sudden to do a movie of this in 2016, and then when that one didn't go so well, they decided to make another one in 2021 is just kind of really confusing to me.
No, because
go ahead.
It's a good premise that they're just like, we can do something with this.
The audiences may be receptive of them. Was Wonder Woman a ginormous smash hit of comic sales in the past 20 years? I'd submit no. So why do a movie of her?
Yeah. What is Phil's comic knowledge to be like, oh, this wasn't a smash hit, as opposed to...
what do you mean? I used to be one of you.
He used to be one of us with everything.
I saw the 2016 film. That film was a mess. That film was all over the place. It didn't make a lot of sense. A lot of the characters were kind of poorly acted and or weirdly designed.
Based upon all of that, do you believe he watched the movie?
I believe he saw somebody's review online or a quick synopsis of a handful of fan thoughts.
And he's seen some clips as well.
And just went, oh, it's a mess.
But that tells me nothing.
Even if he points to a specific thing, he's probably going to point to one of the more egregious moments of the film and just go, like it made no sense.
Let's see.
The best character in the movie, in my opinion, was Will Smith's Deadshot.
Deadshot sucked in that movie.
Well, he's gonna say
what are we? Some type of Suicide Squad?
That's one of the most egregious ones. You haven't seen the movie either.
I felt was actually quite well acted and held the movie together. But outside of that, a lot of the characters didn't even make sense.
See?
You know,
Okay, man, let's hear it.
Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn and didn't really act that much like Harley Quinn at all.
I completely disagree with that. What do you think Harley Quinn should act like?
I was just about to say that.
From the comics or even the cartoons.
How much of the comics have you read? Yeah. And the cartoon Harley is not the only Harley that is available.
Can there not just be an interpretation that is very similar, but then taking... But this was his argument with Thanos, though.
Yeah.
He wants 1-to-1, and that's why I hate his movie reviews. Because he's just like, it's not like, okay,
but it's not good on its own merits.
Just a confusing mess, and you can tell watching that movie, tons of the movie was cut out. It was a disjointed mess, and even the person who was the director came out and said years later, yeah, this movie is not my movie. You know, I made a movie, and they cut it up, and they ruined it, and I admit that this movie is terrible, and sorry. You know, kind of weird when the director publicly apologizes for how bad the movie turned out. So, when this movie...
He did not watch this movie.
He did not. Factually.
This is all easy to gather information. Yes. 3-minute cursory glance into the discourse. Nothing.
Will Smith character was well acted. Okay.
Because Will Smith is a good actor.
Unlike Margot Robbie's, who did not act like Harley Quinn.
But she did.
No examples. I hate him.
It was going to be the second attempt at a Suicide Squad film, and we all heard that James Gunn had creative control and everything. People were very excited. This is the first rated R film in this DC universe. Besides Joker, of course, Joker was not in the continuous DC EU. This one supposedly is supposed to be. So
it's not supposedly supposed to be. It is. It's the same. It's the same group of people.
Yeah.
It's the same film.
You see Waller. She was in with the other ones as well. But now this is supposed to be apparently.
let's talk. The movie itself is exactly the same premise of the other Suicide Squad movie.
Why wouldn't it be if it's the premise of Suicide Squad?
What else would it be, Phil?
And this would be like saying the sequel to Jumanji, the Rock Jumanji, was like the first Rock Jumanji. Well, yes! It's a video game, you play it, you get sucked in.
Yeah.
Wow!
Again, like, what is this supposed to be, a prison break? Well, they could just blow them up. Oh, what, rip? What is it meant to be, Phil? They go on a mission. Yes, that's the similarities end. A bunch of criminals go on a mission. Yes. In superheroes fight villains. Oh, I guess all superhero movies are the same premise. Shut up.
Doctor Strange 2 was just Doctor Strange 1 shrug shoulders.
It's villains. They're being released from prison. They're going to go out there and do some kind of a mercenary mission.
What the that's the most basic of thing. How's that any different roughly from the Expendables except the prison part?
This is not even worth bringing up, Phil. We always have to ask, who is this for?
For his fans that want to hear his opinion on the things that they've consumed.
Absolutely. There's no point in saying this if they've watched the movie. And I don't think that he's engaging enough to watch.
Oh, you could have just stopped there. Phil is not an engaging individual. I can't watch raw gameplay of Phil.
I'm losing the ability to watch other people watch his gameplay. It's rough.
Yeah.
I'll pre-stream it. I'll bounce.
Yeah, sometimes I'll watch Piece of Peace or Ann, and I'll just be like, "Oh, if it's Oblivion, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be a
he's
rough
just
one."
not interesting in the least.
The movie starts off, interestingly enough, with a ragtag team of villains invading an island, and the island seems to be full of a bunch of like guerrilla military. Or maybe even like someone who had conquered the island and wasn't supposed to be in charge. It's not clear from the get-go. But the villains are working together, and it's interesting because some of the villains are returns from the original Suicide Squad movie, including Captain Boomerang and Harley Quinn. Maybe you wonder, could this kind of be a pseudo-sequel or not?
He does not understand that this is literally a sequel. That this is literally the second movie in this franchise. It's not a reboot.
Because he hasn't seen the first movie.
It's not clear. But
It's extraordinarily clear.
In fact, I'd say this movie is contingent on you knowing the original, because they kind of yada a lot of the bombs and that type of stuff, figuring people had seen the original.
it becomes clear in the first few moments that this is not going to be the same as the first movie. So, spoiler alert, if you didn't see the movie yet, I'm going to be talking a lot.
And see, he thinks that he's engaging enough that somebody will have not watched this movie, but is still coming here for what Phil thinks. How? Who?
I mean, a fan is born every day of someone. It's everybody's first video someday.
Sure.
So who knows? Who knows if somebody stumbles upon Phil, likes his voice, likes the way he talks, and just goes, "Okay, I'm just gonna listen to." I have no interest in the Suicide Squad, but I will listen.
But then again, I have no interest in the Suicide Squad. I've not seen this two-year-old movie.
Yep.
And I'm a new fan of Phil. I'm interested in
potential fan. New potential.
So here's just this dude in his blue room,
in his black shirt,
with half a giant Mario painting just peeking out from under the Suicide Squad.
As it's just precariously on a table.
The setup is not great.
It's
About the differences between the two movies, one of the major things is that major characters start dying right off from the get-go, and
minor characters start dying off immediately.
Yes.
the movie is very gory. I mean, over the top gory. Within the first few minutes, as the villains are invading the island, Captain Boomerang, who's the return actor from the original movie,
You
throws
just said this. He said that he's returned, and now he says he's returned again.
But did you know he returned?
Boomerang, and he's cutting guys' heads off, and they're popping out, and brains are exploding. They're shooting each other with guns, and then people's bodies are ripping apart. It's kind of disorienting because we've seen a bunch of DC movies up to this point, and it's never been to that extreme. Now, there's definitely...
This is just a movie. It doesn't matter if it's a DC movie. They can do whatever they want.
We have seen DC movies be extreme, but they've been like cartoons, like the Justice League Dark thing. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Oh, also DC Max. No, that's Marvel Max. That's I think DC was Dark Horse. One of their imprints was on the more mature side of things.
I was not taken aback. I was not like, "Oh, this ain't your mama's Suicide Squad." I was just like, "Okay, they're doing it."
She was 5 years younger than she is now when the first one came out. I would assume it's not hers.
Humor, some of the characters say funny things, they're acting humorously. One of them kind of becomes a coward and turns tail, which then makes him have his head blown off because of the explosive in his neck. If you abandon mission, you're going to get killed. Interestingly enough, the one that's controlling the Suicide Squad is Amanda Waller, the same government agent who back in the Suicide Squad movie from 2016 also was in charge of the squad. So again, weird.
His whole thing of why it's confusing is he doesn't know if this is a sequel or not.
But how could you not?
Because if you don't watch the first movie, I guess.
I guess. What more could they do? He's seen 3
Remember our last
returning
mission.
characters. Quinn and Boomerang have a relationship with
Already.
What more could they do?
Rick Flag and Quinn have a relationship.
Same actors. Same premise. Oh, what's going on here? Was this some kind of Suicide Squad?
Is this a sequel? Is it not a sequel when it has returning characters played by the same actors?
Phil,
It's a little confusing.
what?
He's just a dumb man. I'm sorry.
What
I don't say
indicates-
this a lot. I'm sorry to cut you. I don't say this about a lot of people. He is just a dumb man.
Well, this is a fact that we've known for quite some time.
Phil is just dumb. He's just not a smart guy.
Factual.
I don't know why I think of that every now and then. Phil is just dumb. He's just not a smart guy.
But what makes him think that this isn't a sequel? What indicates...
Because it doesn't have to.
Is that enough?
Yeah. Because you look at something like Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. Is that a sequel to the Fast and the Furious? The storyline as to which we know.
I mean,
It
the
is,
Final
but-
Destination is definitely a continuation.
Correct. As is the Fast of and the Furious.
If you say so.
And I think there was Fate of the Furious. Like, does he think Shazam Fury of the Gods is not a sequel?
I just want to know why he's thinking this. Because was he just not paying attention and just
It's
pulling
hard to pay
Hogan's?
attention. He would play Hogan's because that's where he watches the movies. On his phone. Oh, you don't know this bit of lore?
There's no way.
Yeah, no. He watches movies on his phone. He doesn't watch it on TV or through his computer screen.
Why not?
He'll watch him like while Cat's playing Skyrim. He'll be on his phone and he'll watch a movie. Or he'll end the stream and then he'll bring up his phone and start watching it.
What?
Oh, you didn't know this, lore?
No!
Yeah, no. He watches his movies too. I forgot what movie he was reviewing. I think it was The Batman. Yes, it was The Batman. And he's like, it's real dark. I'm sitting there watching it on my phone or something like that. Yeah, no, he watches the movies through his phone.
As all humans do. It's just a programming that they're just not updating. They're just letting it rock, just
Boy,
like...
that is a great way to put it. Phil is an android that has not had a firmware update in 10 years. And you know what? Every time he starts getting close to what the standards of the day was, he's like 3 years too late. So they're pumping out those updates, but too slowly.
Anyway, within the first few minutes of the movie, you realize it's a bait and switch, because this first group that were attacking the island were the decoy. They're all the throwaways who they knew had no chance of actually winning. They were just there to die off and become a decoy, while on the other side of the island is the actual real invading team, including Blood.
He's doing the looking point to find the character. And he needs to bring his hand down because it's covered up by the giant poster.
Sport, played by Idris Elba,
Bloodsport, okay,
as well as Peacemaker, played by
Idris
John Cena.
Elba.
He don't know how to say black people's names. Come on.
No, but he doesn't know how to say white people's name either, because he said Joaquin Phoenix.
No, he didn't. There's no way he...
Let me pig go this.
There's no way he didn't know how to say Joaquin Phoenix.
Do you believe that? Do you believe...
Was he saying it as a joke? Because I don't understand how... He's an accredited actor. It's not like... I can understand if you're looking at Zendaya. If people say Zendaya, she was an up-and-coming actress. Who knows? Who f***ing knows how to say that name? But once she starts getting more accredited. Once she becomes a more household name, people start learning how to say the name. Joaquin has been around for some 15 years.
Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
That's Joaquin.
We really gotta do this.
My marathon. It seems to me the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
He paused and put emphasis on it. So I'm scared that you might be correct.
I will find this.
Ratcatcher 2, who I guess is the daughter of a previous supervillain, and she can control rats.
What do you mean you guessed? They explain this in the movie!
What do you think that...
They show the daddy!
He is having a real problem with the number 2. He is having a real problem with the legacy.
He cannot retain information! I guess she... What?
A human shark hybrid creature that I don't even remember what its name was because it...
Yo, I thought you read comics. I thought you knew how these sold. And you don't know the name of King Shark? Flash villain King Shark?
It is 2 words. It is words that you learned.
You got one of them.
3rd grade.
Because he said it's a shark-human hybrid. You're halfway there.
Was some weird thing like Namaste or something like that. Polka Dot Man, a guy who apparently was put through dimensions as a kid and caught a virus, an interdimensional virus that now he controls.
Why does he have to keep saying apparently?
When it's noted in the movie.
Yes!
This is exactly what happened.
By using these polka dots to blow
you
things
keep pushing
up
those
in
arms,
way
Phil.
matter. It's really weird, but there's all humorous touches. For example, Idris Elba and Peacemaker are essentially the same exact person. Like, they have the same character. Oh, anything you put into their hands is a deadly weapon because they were trained.
That was the joke of the film.
Yeah, and he's explaining it in his own funny Phil way.
There's never been a funny Phil way.
By their parents, and now they're merciless killers. Like, but they're the same exact person. So it's kind of funny. That's the running joke, is that they have the kind of the same abilities or whatever. And although Peacemaker...
That's not the running joke. It's a joke in the beginning, and then it becomes a dick measuring contest, and they try to one-up each other.
Has weird ambitions, like anything for peace. Like, I'll kill everyone here for peace. Wait, you're going to mercilessly murder everyone here to create peace. So, did you really create peace, or did you just kill everyone in order to get them to stop
It's his own idea of what peace is. No matter how many men, women, and children need to die for it to happen.
But that's not logical because that's not peace. That's Phil's mindset of just like, well, you're not creating peace because...
Does he not understand he's a villain, so his mentality is warped, and his peace doesn't necessarily mean peace if you have to kill a bunch of people? I'm sure dictators feel like their cities are at peace, but they're dictators.
No, it's Phil looking pure and simple surface level. And that's
And
all it
pure and
is.
simple black and white.
And he's not thinking about this.
Or he's thinking
not
too hard about it.
Or it's either too hard or not enough.
Yes.
a ruckus. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of contradictory. How are you creating peace through violence?
We've created peace through violence before,
why does he think he's fit to?
I don't know if he thinks he's fit to, or he just knows this is a easy thing to do, and people are going to gravitate to it.
But they didn't.
They gravitate enough? Do you think this review has gotten better views than some of his gameplay videos?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But
And he ain't have to do nothing but then sit there and go, I'm just saying what the joke of the movie was.
and flailing.
Is this a sequel or not? It's confusing.
Oh my goodness. What happened in this DSP Reacts? Because it's just all of this stuff. Look, 8, 9, 8, 7, all the 3,000.
Oh yeah, that would
What happened here?
have to have been a toxic rant or something.
Alba essentially just wants to help his daughter. His daughter, who is introduced early in the movie, is his motivation because basically she gets into some legal troubles with, I think it was like theft, and Amanda Waller threatens Idris Elba, says, listen, if you don't do this mission, even though I don't even want to do it, we'll come down on your daughter instead, slap her in jail as like an adult, even though she's not. So basically, out of everyone here, he's really not in this to reduce his sentence. He's doing it because his daughter's been threatened. But everyone else here is essentially here for their own, their own doing, or trying to benefit themselves. So as the movie progresses, various different things happen. The one person who's not a criminal, Captain Flag, he's a government agent, gets captured.
His name is not Captain Flag.
He couldn't remember King Shark.
The heroes who are remaining alive try to infiltrate and save him, kill all the people who have kidnapped him, only to find out he wasn't kidnapped. He was rescued by the rebels.
Phil. These are the things that happened in the movie, Phil. These are the events that occurred, Phil. This dude is... Why is he bad at everything?
He's not bad at lying.
No, he is. Just look at the interview. Yeah. No, that wasn't my bank account, but I did get hacked. But that wasn't me. So it's all just a coincidence. They're eating at the same places as you and going to the same places as you. And yep.
Is it a...
Of the island who are trying to overthrow the evil regime that you're there to stop? Well, who, the Suicide Squad are there to stop?
Hate. I don't know what it is, but him just that tongue
piece
thing.
of peace points it out all
He
the time.
does it
And
so much.
Infuriates.
I can't stop looking at it. Cause once you get it pointed out to you,
It's
he
over.
just constantly does it.
And they killed all the good guys. Oops. And this is the kind of weird humor this movie has, where it's kind of like adult-themed humor. Oops, we're all so stupid, we killed a bunch of people who were actually going to be on our side because we're so dumb we didn't check. That's kind of the humor of the movie in a lot of ways.
They believed that he was kidnapped, and they went and they took care of the business.
Yes.
How are they meant to check if he's good or not?
And that was only one part of the joke. The other part were Peacemaker and Bloodsport killing the rebels in ways to try to one-up each other.
Yes.
There's some other scenes that are really weird. For example, Harley Quinn gets separated from the group, and then the dictator who's in charge of the island has this weird romantic interlude with her. And then at the end of the romantic interlude, she just murders him.
It's not weird. And she gave a speech of why she did it.
Mm-hmm. Why is it weird, Phil?
I know my taste in men is bad, so if I like you, you have to be a bad guy.
Just because she's like, oh, I don't like you. Sounds like you're a bad guy who's going to be hurting kids or something.
Or something. You just watched the movie. That's weird.
Did he watch this movie? Hold on. Stay with me. Did he watch this movie? Or did he find a couple reviews and did like a Frankenstein's monster of review?
It's entirely possible.
That's all I want is the possibility.
Because he's given just the basic overview.
Yes. He's giving noted things that people would point out in reviews in regards to the comedy. And then he's just going, but it's stupid. And then Quinn has this pseudo love interest, but it's dumb.
So that throws the whole island into disarray. Ultimately, what are the Suicide Squad really there to do? Well, apparently there is some kind of a weird experimentation happening on the island.
Apparently there's a weird experimentation that we see
when they debrief them on the starfish thing.
Some kind of a creature, assuming some kind of a space alien, that was captured and experimented on for years and years. And now that this regime has taken over the island, they're afraid that the regime is going to use this bioweapon alien as something to, give them power in the world, and they're afraid that it could be used as a terrorist, a terrorist weapon. Come to find out over the course of the movie, of course, when movies like this go down, actually, the alien isn't the terrorist weapon at all. It's actually owned by the Americans. But because the island was overthrown, the people who used to be keeping it a secret from the world now can't keep it a secret anymore. So it's kind of like, oops, we were using this unsafe weapon. We were the terrorists, essentially. But now we got to clean up our own mess by having the Suicide Squad.
Hey, at times, America is the terrorist.
Come in and try to destroy this alien so no one knows it ever existed.
Hey, this sounds a lot different than the first Suicide Squad movie.
No, but the mercenaries.
We were doing this illicit stuff behind the scenes. So it's kind of that kind of interesting plot. The plot goes different ways. First, like I said, they're trying to save Captain Flag. Then they're trying to save Harley Quinn. Then eventually they do finally make a big attack on the alien base. And then there's a big action-packed finale where they have to fight a ginormous kaiju, yes, Godzilla-sized alien. I won't spoil anything else besides that. I won't even tell you how it ends.
You've spoiled basically everything.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Just go for it. Go for the gusto.
I will tell you is that the movie is fun in parts, but very bizarre in others. Okay? First of all, I'm going to say this again. They don't know how to get Harley Quinn right in these movies. Okay? Harley Quinn is closer to the comic books and the cartoon in these movies.
In
but
what
still
way?
Not dead on. Does she have her New York accent this time? Yes, she does.
She did in the first one.
Yes. He didn't watch it, though.
Good. But they made her into some kind of a super killer assassin.
That's thing, Harley Quinn. She's an acrobatic murder clown.
No.
He must think Harley Quinn is like the Batman the Animated Series, where she's more of a comic foil to the Joker and a bit incompetent.
That's clearly. Because he must think that there is one interpretation, and you must always stick to that interpretation.
This is not a good pause.
That is not. But is it ever?
This is a thumbnail worthy pause.
Who is like super powered. At one point,
She's not
give me some
superpowered.
perspective. She's matrix dodging bullets, picks up 2 assault rifles, charges down a hallway, shooting dozens of military. Yeah, just like
It wasn't dozens. It was like 7 guys.
like in the cartoon and comics, right?
Yes!
No.
That's happened in the comics!
Look at this incredulity.
And I'm sorry, a Saturday morning cartoon show couldn't have Harley Quinn mowing down mooks. I apologize, Phil, that the TV show meant for 10-year-olds could not have the villain shooting a bunch of dudes. Sorry, apologies, DS. My bad.
Well, she's so super powered. Look at her using a gun.
Like, why do these directors and or writers keep trying to make her the ultimate female badass. That's not...
Cause she is!
Nope, that's not the character. Don't you hear?
Okay. What is the character?
What is? I'm waiting.
Not the character. The character is she's supposed to be the second fiddle to the clown prince of crime.
No.
All she is.
There has been, since her incarnation, she has tried to move out of that.
Yes.
And she keeps going back to the Joker because she has mental issues with love and the Joker. But she has moved out of that multiple times. Where do you think the Gotham City Sirens come from of Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Ivy?
No, she's only.
Where was the
supposed to
Joker
be
there?
in second fiddle.
He played Injustice 2 where she was not that.
He did.
Where she was trying to be a
factually
hero.
He factually did.
This is not. She is a acrobatic murder clown. She is the Joker, but more acrobatic. Not as conniving.
And it's the finality that he speaks on. It's like she's not this in the comics that you don't read because you don't have the time.
Read them.
You don't have time, Phil. You don't read. You don't listen to in music. You don't watch YouTube videos.
I guess the Batman we have now is not the character because Batman used to use guns and kill people.
If that's the argument.
If that's the argument, this isn't Batman. Batman v Superman was Batman. What a dumb man. That can't do anything but see a thing once and go, it must always be so.
This way exactly.
Yes. Is she a criminal mastermind that works with the Joker? Yes, she is. Is she a killer? Well, I believe possibly she did kill in some situations.
What did you just say there, Phil? What did you say there? Is she a killer? Maybe, perhaps, in some incarnations, possibly, every now and then, with a certain situation, perhaps she's killed.
So what has he said about her personality? She's the second fiddle to the Joker.
Yes.
She's the second fiddle to the Joker.
Yes.
And she may possibly, apparently, might have killed.
Yes.
Over the course of the Batman comics. But was she ever a hyper...
Yes. I can answer that for you, Phil. Yes.
You don't even know what he's about to say.
crazy, powerful assassin able
She's not
to do
powerful.
crazy... I mean, she's like Mila
Yes.
Jovovich in the Resident Evil movies in this movie.
Wow.
In what way?
Does he have problems with women and action roles? Because he didn't say anything like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator or something. He didn't say anything like Rambo. He's like Rambo.
He didn't say anything about Bloodsport and John and Peacemaker.
What the frick? That's not Harley Quinn.
Truly is.
No, it's not. Because people says it's not.
There's even a mini comic, I believe it's called Harlequin, that explores her more devious and killer side to things. Yeah, stop. What are you looking up?
I'm still looking up that car thing.
Just let it go.
No, we're gonna
That's
get that
not
car
even
thing.
close to
It's
being the
great.
character of Harley Quinn.
Yes,
they
it
got
is.
it wrong. Another
No.
thing.
Nope, they got
there's
it wrong.
scenes where she's like wearing a dress and her whole body is white skinned. It's makeup, stupid. Did you not ever read a comic of Harley Quinn?
But in the first movie, she jumped into the vat.
And got the scan. Does he also not realize that people can be pale?
Did you not see the Batman animated series? She's a normal.
Yep, there it is. That's what it is. It all comes from that. She's had that scan since she jumped in the vat in the Suicide Squad.
In the movie, he did not see.
He did not watch that movie.
Normal person in makeup. Her whole body isn't fucking pale white. She didn't fall into a vat of acid like the Joker.
He did not watch this movie.
Factually.
We're
We're done.
He factually did not watch the first movie.
100%. He did not watch that first movie. That's all there is to
Because
it.
that's exactly what happens, Phil.
Why is she this color? It doesn't make any sense. It's like
It would if you watch the first movie.
Comment.
Oh no.
Very funny to criticize the filmmaker for not correctly researching Harley Quinn's skin tone, but you failed to do your own research and understand that Harley Quinn went into the vat with the Joker and they both have pale white skin. Phil response? In this very narrow, inferior interpretation, but this is not the origins of the actual character.
So they gave her a reason to have this skin, and he went, but that's not how it's supposed to be.
But this is also not what he's saying here.
It is not what
he's
he's
just
saying.
saying, no, she's normal. And then he's like, no, she's not. She did it. Well, I don't like the interpretation.
It's inferior.
That is literally what you talk about the trolls doing, moving the goalpost.
What makes the Batman the Animated Series Harley Quinn superior if this is the inferior version?
you did zero research for this character.
Didn't even watch the movie, Phil.
All he had to do was watch the first movie.
That's
and
all
he
he had to do.
And he couldn't even accomplish that. He could have just went, I didn't watch the first movie. I've heard very bad things about it. So if there are certain things in here that were explained in the first movie, I apologize because I did not watch that movie. But he has to go in as the expert of everything. I've
Comics,
watched that
movies.
movie. I've dissected it. I know how Harley Quinn is. I've read the comics. I was hosting LAN parties.
Wait, Phil.
All you did.
But even if he was just like, even if he doesn't even have to be like, I ain't watched that movie. He could have been like, I watched it once back when it first came out. I'm not gonna watch it again just to watch this movie.
I don't remember a lot of it.
That's all he should have said.
I remember the parts I liked. Everything else, I just...
Dang, did that happen? All right, then I'm wrong. But he can't do that.
He can't say I'm wrong.
You nailed the accent. That was it. Everything else about the character makes no sense. And there's blatant scenes where at the end of the movie, she's fighting aliens and she's like, she's a fucking criminal. She's just supposed to be a normal criminal. Why is she a super assassin? It makes no sense at all.
What did she do that indicated that she was a super assassin?
She did a lot of ballerina stuff.
Jump into Starro.
She did a lot of action stuff. She's weapon proficient, and she's acrobatic.
And when he does give examples, it's just like she's shooting guns.
This has been 12 minutes, and he's essentially just complained about Harley Quinn.
And synopsis the movie.
Now, outside of that, there are some funny scenes. There's some good action scenes. There's a few good laughs in the movie. And there's some I would say it's pretty much a good popcorn movie and a good laugh. However, I will say this. The gore at first is kind of interesting because you're like, wow, we've never seen this gore before. For me, I honestly feel the gore was too much. Like, for example,
He's such a prude.
He is. Cat has 180 that, man. She has castrated that boy.
A leash on him.
I wonder if it's not even Cat, it's more of Phil's perception of what an adult should be after they get married. You can't look at women anymore because you've got your beautiful, loving wife. All these boy things like gore and toilet humor has to be dialed way back because now you're a mature adult with a business degree.
scenes where the shark guy is just blatantly eating people. And there's body parts flying everywhere and gore squirting. It's kind of disgusting.
It was fine.
It's kind of disgusting.
Phil, you play horror games. You play Dead Space where you kick off limbs and you made jokes about them and they go flying across the room.
Mortal Kombat.
What are you talking about?
What are you, old lady? Shut up.
In my day, the gore was...
there's a scene at the beginning of the movie.
Didn't somebody get eaten that he was playing a game and he went yummy?
I don't put it past him.
I think it was like a zombie or something eating yummy. Yep. When he first saw the zombie in Resident Evil, the original. He don't care about gore like this. What is he talking about?
Movie where one of the people gets their head chopped off or whatever, and there's a scene of a bird picking the brains out of their opened head. Why was that funny or needed? I don't.
Because it is I can't believe I have to explain this to him. That character had killed a bird of the same species in the beginning of the film. So this could be seen as a revenge of that bird, as kind of a wink and nudge to the audience of how expendable they are, how replaceable they are, because that bird just replaced the other bird in forms of revenge. And it's a foreshadowing of what's happening in the movie, because while you think this character is the reason, is the main thing and the main thing happening, they're actually getting revenge based on a different character.
No, but it's gross. Ew.
Get it. Like, I guess they're trying to gross out humor, but I didn't really think it was funny, nor did I find it entertaining. I just found it kind of weird and disturbing. Like, there's a time for gore in a rated R movie, and it just seemed like this movie was amped. They just wanted to throw it at you constantly to have it in there and say,
you gave a time in the beginning and a time at the end, but I guess they're just throwing it excessively at you.
He didn't watch the movie. He looked at it every now and again while he's watching Cat play whatever.
Skyrim. That's all she
It might have not been Skyrim. I mean, she was playing Yakuza.
What's she gonna... Okay. Skyrim, Yakuza, Hogwarts Legacy, Skyrim. Yeah, I said Skyrim twice on purpose. Does she even play Fallout, which is just Skyrim with guns?
I think she did.
But she don't play it like that. Why wouldn't she... These people are gonna piss me off. Why wouldn't they have a computer so she can put mods on her computer to play Skyrim?
I'm sorry, but that costs money. We don't have money.
I think she has her own computer.
It's not good enough.
For Skyrim?
No, it's not. Not good enough, sorry.
look, we're different from the other DC movies. But if it doesn't serve a purpose, and it doesn't...
It did. It flew over your head is the thing, Phil.
It seemed like it serves a purpose in this one. It's just...
The replaceability of the characters, Phil. That's the purpose. If one bird dies, the next one will come in and finish off the job. Just like the Suicide Squad members. It's not hard. It's thematic in a way.
Gratuitous gore for the sake of having the gore. Also, I'll be honest, I think a lot of people thought the movie was funny. I thought some parts were funny, and some of the writing, the humor was funny, and other of it was really stupid, like talking about...
Good thing it's subjective. Wait, talking about what?
I don't know. I don't know what this...
It has to be something sexual.
Yeah,
It's either that or something with Ratcatcher.
or it could just be going back to talking about the Peacemaker thing of I could kill all
Polka Dot Man's mom.
Peacemaker wanting to suck a bunch of dicks on the beach.
Never mind.
That was sexual.
Sexual.
But that was funny. You telling me you make jokes like that, Phil? Half those jokes are poo jokes.
Lick every turd as it flies out of my ass. Lick everyone. This was a legitimate joke of yours.
Like what? Like what are you talking about? Like what?
It was set up in that. Of the lengths he would go for peace.
Do you care
No.
to guess how many instances of dick there are in Pig Go?
26,497.
16,000.
Okay. That's still too much.
Yes. That is a lot.
And that's just what Pig Go has. I think that's just the DSP gaming one. So we're not even talking about DarksydePhil. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 5-year-old humor. And then another
You're 5-year-old humor, Phil.
weird thing. Again, like I said, some of these characters aren't well characterized. Peacemaker, who I guess was supposed to be a standout character played by John Cena, I don't get him. I just don't understand the character. They don't really give him they don't give him any character development, actually. He just kind of is
They
the
don't
guy
give any character development.
I would assume he means they don't give him any.
No, he
Give
didn't.
him. I would assume that's what he means.
But that's not what he said.
Absolutely not.
I don't care. But we can only assume this is what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
But
it did give him character development because initially he seems very for the group and all of that stuff, but come to find out he will do whatever it takes to accomplish his mission, even if it means killing his hero.
And does a character inherently need development?
No.
In order to be a good character.
Characterization is enough for a lot of people.
Why are you
wants
holding?
peace and will get it by any means necessary. And he has big guns and he makes jokes about the guns and he tries to outshoot Bloodsport, and Bloodsport is a competition with him. Like I said, they're kind of the same character, so they're kind of doing the same stuff.
Stop.
And it just doesn't really stand out to me. The weirdest part about this, okay?
Stop!
It doesn't stand out to you, but yet you marked it as a reason, as a thing to talk about. So it does, in some way, stand out to you. Mm-hmm. Because you haven't talked about Ratcatcher yet like that. You talked about King Shark's gratuitous violence, so that has to have stood out to you. So Peacemaker has to have stood out to you in some way, shape, or form.
To bring it up. But why didn't it? Is it because it's generic? Is it because it wasn't funny? Is it
he
because
wanted
it was
John
too in your
Cena to
face?
do more? But then again, why does he hate Peacemaker?
But he's just moving on.
Yeah. We only got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. There's no time.
That after this movie, they made a whole series with Peacemaker. I don't know why. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. And
it's great. That's why. It's a fantastic fake TV show. Yo, I don't know why they do the things they do. Maybe they want to create good media. Yeah. Maybe they just want to expand their universe. Maybe they want to give him the character development that you thought he sorely lacked in his own spinoff. That's why they didn't do it here and just introduce you to the character.
Actually, it's my intention to go watch it now. But of all the characters,
then they accomplished their job.
Yeah, that's the thing. They did the thing.
In the movie, I felt Bloodsport, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher 2.
Polka Dot Man is dead! Ratcatcher 2, we saw her entire development through this. Yes. Her character arc in this. You can say the same thing for Bloodsport with his daughter.
Were the three best, most interesting characters.
Because they got the most characterization in the film.
What a basic bit moviegoer.
And just so you know, one of them doesn't survive the movie, so there's nothing with that character moving forward.
Pause. I'm not gonna spoil, but one of them bites the dust.
So I know one of them bites the dust.
One of the three characters.
And I'm pretty sure, they're not going to do anything with Idris Elba. He's too high profile.
Oh, so he's still alive.
He's still alive. So cool. Between Ratcatcher and Polka Dot Man.
Cool.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks. You idiot.
I'm glad you didn't spoil that for me.
Of an actor, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
high-profile actors mean nothing because you see all these high-profile actors doing like Netflix movies and Netflix TV shows. It doesn't matter if they have work that is good enough script-wise that they want to do it and it can fit into their schedule.
Especially considering something like Bloodsport, half the time you can have the mask on and just that be somebody else.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. It seems like they have these weird aspirations for the movie. We have to make it the goriest R-rated. We have to have...
No, it's not the goriest R-rated. We've seen things like Grotesque, where they cut off a man's penis. You got things like torture porn, like Saw movies, where they try to get excessively gore. Terrifier films that are excessively gore.
For some reason, he's just putting all this on the filmmakers, not knowing anything about it. So he's just like, this is what they wanted to do.
His own virtues have been sullied, and so they have to be the mistake.
Humor in it, so it's better than the other DC movies. So it almost is like the DC version of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is, of course, what James Gunn is known for. But
this did not feel like a Guardians movie.
No.
Also with gore to make it stand out. But then we want to have characters that are different, and we want to have spin-off series. It's like, wait, you're doing way too much with this movie.
No,
Characters that are different.
They don't. So gore is doing too much, even though you've only marked 2 moments of excessive gore. It feeling like Guardians is doing too much, even though that just means it's a group of characters that all have their moment to shine, their own motivations, their own happinesses and sadness and goals.
Different characters. You've marked 3 of those characters are the standouts.
And they were 3 different ones from the previous one. Why did he dislike this movie? Because it's not Quinn. Does he give ratings to these movies? And if so, what is the rating here?
6, 5, 7.
I'm gonna go a 6.
And I do feel that way. Like the movie tried to do way too much. It had this weird thing, this running theme, where on the screen there'd be titles of like the name of the act that you were going into. But it wouldn't be like Act 1, this, Act 2, this. It would just be like, now or on the beach. And it would say it in words on the screen. That would be like crabs on the beach, and then the crabs would walk away. And you're like, huh? Like, what was that? It wasn't funny. It's just
a
weird and out of
stylistic
place.
thing.
And weird title cards like that happen naturally in the scenery over the course of the movie. Like, why?
It's better than floating from the original Suicide Squad, where it's all, the clown prince of crime, Joker. Like,
But I mean, like, the movie seems like it doesn't really have much of an identity, because it's...
That's a nitpicky issue. And he said it it doesn't have much of an identity. You just named it's like the Guardian. It's got a lot of gore, a lot of toilet humor.
Yeah, it's pretty. You could say that it's childish. That's the cohesion. That you could say that it's over the top. That's what it is. It does have these things, Phil.
It feels very distinct from the original Suicide Squad. So they both have their own identity. You can say it's not a good one, but it has an identity.
Trying so hard to be different things and stand alone from what the other DC movies have been, that it doesn't really succeed at any of them. And then,
okay, the first Suicide Squad felt very different from every DC movie that had preceded it. Didn't make it good. Didn't make it anything special. It just was different. Regardless of if it's different or not, that's not a reason to mark it negative or positive. Is it a good film? Regardless of the uniqueness or the genericness.
And you also gotta just feel like he's marking it as a negative, assuming their intentions for this.
Yes.
It's like they're trying to make it different. You don't know that.
Let's write the script and make sure we're different
And make
from
it
everything
different
else.
this time.
and like I said, ultimately at the end of the movie, they want you to care about Peacemaker because there's going to be a spin-off series about him. And I didn't really care about this character at all.
No, what makes you think you're supposed to care about him? You're supposed to care about the plight of him, him killing his hero, and that type of thing.
Mayhaps being interested to see more.
Yes. How does he deal with the fact that he killed his hero and that type of thing?
Actually thought out of all the characters, he was the least developed and least interesting.
Then doesn't that make sense that he would get the series
instead
to
of a
develop
fully
him?
fleshed out character?
I think they tried hard to make him funny, but I don't think they really even succeeded in that.
He was hilarious.
No, but he did the penises.
But Phil loves that.
He does.
He was making jokes about dudes in bath towels fighting. You're during Yakuza. Like, how does he not understand that he is the thing he hates?
So, honestly, it's okay. The Suicide Squad, by the way, is better.
Point.
I'm glad you pointed to what you were talking about. Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
Talking about.
Than the first Suicide Squad movie. I should just outright say that.
You didn't watch it.
Yeah,
so
you factually didn't watch it.
Factually didn't watch that movie, Phil. Either you factually didn't watch it, or it's been so long you remember nothing about it.
But you shouldn't speak with such finality about it then.
In the first Suicide Squad movie, the only good actor in that whole fucking thing
Shut
was
up.
Smith. In this one,
Shut up.
everyone's pretty good at who they are and their acting ability. I will definitely say that, and the script is much better in this one.
What was wrong with Diablo's acting?
Yeah.
What was wrong with Quinn's acting? The accent, blah, blah, blah. What was wrong with Enchantress's acting? Even Rick Flag's acting. What was wrong with it?
No, they're just all bad except for Will Smith. And here, everybody did a pretty good job, even though he mentioned Polka Dot Man being a standout, but I think he only mentioned him twice.
Still, is it a comedy? Well, not really. Is it
Yes,
a
it is.
gory, serious, R-rated film? No, not really.
Yes, it is.
Is it a drama?
It can be all of those things.
Yes.
It doesn't just have to be a drama. It doesn't just have to be a action movie.
A drama can have comedic elements, horrific elements, serious elements, and lighthearted elements. It does not mean that it has to be like the Marriage Story or whatever that was called with Scarlett Johansson and big old Darth Vader boy.
But one of his favorite movies is Ghostbusters. And it's got comedy, that's got action, that's got scary
Drama,
moments,
horror.
that's got drama. This isn't...
Back to the Future has all those things, except horror.
I guess he must not like Freddy Krueger. Because it's a horror movie with comedy.
Yeah, what was his horror
Rankings.
Yeah.
Freddy
and Jason were high. Why do you like Jason? Because it's got comedy, it's got horror, it's got action. And Jason doesn't really develop as a character.
Not really. Does it characterize the characters well to their DC counterparts? Not really.
You don't know them.
Yeah,
you know
you
Quinn
mentioned Quinn.
essentially.
He mentioned Quinn and that was it.
He knows Quinn from a cartoon 15 years ago, and then nothing else.
Mom didn't even know King Sharks.
Can't even remember that guy's name.
So he can't say that. But he can because he's Phil.
And that's all you need sometimes.
Is it trying to do its own original thing? Maybe, but not really, because by the end, you don't really understand where it's going. So,
But it is trying to do its own original thing by doing the gore stuff to an over-top degree. You've said this.
And you do know where it's going. A new squad will come in. Some people will stay. Some people will be new. And there'll be a new mission of whatever is going on at the time.
And you do know where it's going past this. Peacemaker.
it's very confusing. It just feels like a big disjointed movie. And I'm not surprised that when this movie came out in 2021, it didn't do that well. It did okay, but it didn't reach the expectations that they had for it.
What expectations did they have for it, Phil? Can you point me to a report of where WB said we have these expectations for the Suicide Squad and it did not match those expectations?
For it, and it's probably because it didn't really resonate. I mean, what is this movie? I don't even know. I saw the whole movie. It ended.
What is a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
What is Spider-Man No Way Home? Is it a drama? Well, not really. It's got dramatic moments in it. Is it a comedy? Well, not really. It's got comedic moments in it. Is it like a buddy cop movie? Well, not really, because often Peter's just by himself.
You can't just pigeonhole movies into this one thing. You're like, it's not this thing.
I was like, that's the end? Like, that's how it's going to end. And then there's a...
Yeah,
They beat
defeating
Starro!
the big old Starro.
Turn around, you pieces! God! Fuck!
Oh, it's Viola Davis just screaming. Turn around now, goddammit! I fucking love it, you pieces of shit. Why they're all just triumphantly walking?
cliffhanger ending where they're like, oh, look, Peacemaker series is coming. And I'm like...
That's not a cliffhanger ending, it's a bell end. The story itself is over.
I don't really care. But I'm intrigued, because I'll tell you right...
Then you don't care, you... Oh my god.
Those are opposite things, don't you think, Phil? I don't care. But yeah, I do care.
I don't care, but I have an interest in it. What? Then, oh my
This
god.
doesn't interest me, but I am interested.
I don't care, but I want to see it.
Right now, as a result of watching this movie, I want to at least watch some, if not all, of Peacemaker to see what they did with that, because I am so perplexed.
Then it did its job.
Yeah.
Because if you truly didn't care, you would not watch it. Like, I didn't watch The Last Jedi and then go, I want to watch the next story with Rey or Finn or whatever's going on in Star Wars stuff. I have consumed zero Star Wars media after it because I do not care about it. You clearly do care on because some level about Peacemaker.
See what's gonna happen next with the character.
They did their job.
You saying I'm gonna watch some, if not all of this? It's like, okay, good, we got you.
Got him. Got him. He thinks he's so funny. So we're just gonna watch. This is how you don't play Metal Gear Solid 2. Jameson laugh. Ha 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 ha. Got him. He swears he's the coolest.
He's not.
He talks so much big when he is not being confronted. Yes, sir. No, sir. I don't believe that, sir.
That interview.
I have great respect for you.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And I would agree with that. Oh, I didn't hear about that. That would have been an interesting thing. Yeah, that piece of I piss on his grave.
What they did with this movie, I can't fathom how they made a whole series with that character. And again, Harley Quinn, once again, laughably bad. Not exactly what the character is at all.
Not exactly what the character is, so it's laughably bad. Is the Arkham games Harley Quinn to you, Phil?
He did not talk about her character, but her actions.
Yep. He didn't talk about most people's characters, but their action. How he squalls 18 minutes out of this, I couldn't tell you.
In the cartoon or the comics, they again don't know what the character is. They made her a super assassin. Again, like Alice in the Resident Evil movies. What were they thinking? So it's not terrible. It's better than the 2016 Suicide Squad, but it's just not that good. It's okay. It's another okay popcorn flick. It's nothing to write home about, and it didn't blow me away. I was actually going into it hoping for a lot more. I mean, it's by James Gunn, the maker of Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is one of my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
Why?
Yeah,
what did it accomplish that this didn't? Because you didn't get a lot of characterization of things like Rocket Raccoon. So what did it do that this film didn't, that elevates it to one of your favorite Marvel movies of all time?
It didn't have all that icky gore.
And no one talking about sucking penises. And the comedy was childlike, where I would catch it because it wouldn't fly over my head.
Dropped, completely dropped. Are we just forgetting about that?
They're gonna bring it back for the third one, right before he dies.
This was not even near as good as that movie.
Disagree. I love this. I do not like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. That's my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, if you like this review, I will be watching Peacemaker coming up and reviewing episodes of that, probably in 2 to 3 episode clumps. So expect maybe, 3, maybe 4 videos reviewing Peacemaker coming up in the future.
Why?
But thank you for watching the review of The Suicide Squad. I hope you liked it. And I'll see you later. Peace out.
I hate him on Peace Out. What the is this?
Thanks for watching. What's the problem? Isn't that how movies end?
Yeah, him reviewing stuff is very bad.
Yes, I knew it when he was reviewing The Last of Us. It was legitimately synopsis, not like the game, synopsis, not like the game, different from the game. This didn't happen in the game, so it was kind of interesting. Synopsis, why wasn't it like the game? Phil has no avenue to dissect a thing on its own merits, because so often, like with the Resident Evil 2 remake, it's all, hey, that wasn't in the game, in the original. Just like when he played the Resident Evil 7 demo. It's it's different from the demo. This happened in the demo, but it didn't happen here. You have no commentary that's not, hey, it's slightly different than what I remember from the last one.
Yeah,
he's an anomaly, so there's no score here.
of course not. There never is one. with Phil.
I'm surprised we got through that so quickly. Now I got time for the NFL draft, so that's cool. What are you looking for?
I need to find the car thing.
You don't need the car thing. You don't need the Joaquin Phoenix thing. We're
All of these things, Joaquin.
Joaquin.
It's so good.
Yeah. Don't know what we're doing Saturday. Oh, we do know what we're doing Saturday. Yeah, we already talked about it. I did not record us talking about it again.
And this is just gonna be the running meme of just not doing it.
It's gonna be this. It's gonna be where's the ending we woo. And it's just gonna be that over and over and over and over again, unfortunately. Yeah, we need to start peppering in Phil content into our content because we love DarksydePhil's content so much because he is such an awful person and content creator.
Like I said, I would very much like to do a DSPReacts because it is.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. Maybe we'll do it.
We don't have to set a time because we're not good at setting times.
Yeah. We can be good at setting times because we'll say we're going to do this thing and we'll do this thing. And I'd say we hit about 65% of the time, which isn't great, but it's good enough.
I don't want to be looking at Phil's stuff because it's going to destroy my algorithm.
Oh, boy. I got a regular DSPReacts in the List Exists channel. I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no. We gotta fix this.
Trust me, YouTube. I am not watching Phil for Phil. I am not raw consuming that content. Yeah, so we are out of here. We have no months in the planning. We have nothing.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, we have nothing going on until like August, September when we start ramping up for viewer request month 3. So look forward to that, I guess. And we'll do a movie month where we just do a bunch of movies.
I wanted to.
Yeah, we might do that. Then we can get a Star Wars in there and some other stuff. Yeah,
we do need to do some more Star Wars.
Yeah, we haven't had a regular month in a long time, so we'll talk about it. We are out of here. You wanna?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Get us out of here. Get us out of here.
I'm sitting there like, what is this? And this, I'm like, what? He's pressing the button.
He's the one that is it. What is he?
Yeah, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What are you talking about? You ended. I really want to find this.
If anything, it'll be a reference at the end of it.
Oh yeah, we could probably just tack that on at the end. If he had, but it's such a.
How about this? You find it and we play it for Saturday.
I'm going crazy over this.
Because we got 2 relatively short videos. We'll probably end those in about 2.5 hours.
It's My Hero.
But still, it's 2. It's in rash plays. Like, what do we... We heard some of that. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. Like, we should go.
We will. I did it.